Hey, baby, 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 baby.
What's up, Shan?
What's up, man?
How's it going, bro? What's up, baby shark?
What's up, baby sharks?
What's up, all the baby
What up?
sharks
What up, all
out
my
there?
baby sharks out there? Babies, baby shark. You know how many kids listen to us do this?
Yeah.
Like all these parents come up to us and they're like, we don't listen to your show, but we listen to the first 20 seconds of your show.
Yeah.
Because we
'Cause
love
you
the baby
have-
shark.
Yeah, and you have these two grown adult guys that listen dancing to baby shark.
So if you want to connect with your baby nieces and nephews and children,
tune into our show.
tune into the first 45 seconds of our show,
Yeah.
and you'll build a good rapport.
That's right.
Because you don't have to dance with them. These Ulus will do it.
Yeah, the Ulus will do it for
The
you.
two Ulus. The Tulus.
I had a mic drop moment before the show even started. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's fun. You dropped the mic before it even started.
Oh man, how's it going, Shan?
Good, man. Good.
We're
Just,
rarely able to keep up with lucid dreams, huh? I think we're dreaming a lot.
This is
right
crazy,
now.
man. We're doing a lot of dreams, and
A lot
this
of
is
dreams, making some of them come true, dreaming through them as well.
tonight's lucid dream is in this envelope.
Yeah, that's perfect, Shan. That is perfect.
You see the eyes? This
I
is the
love
owl.
it, man. I love
Here we go.
it. Yeah.
We're dropping it.
We're
Doo, doo, doo,
dropping it.
doo.
Yeah. Doo, doo, doo,
What are we talking about tonight, man?
So you know that story about the tortoise and the hare?
No, tell me about it.
We were just talking about it. Yeah, it's not kharab hai,
No,
Shan,
of course I know. But why don't you sum it up in the way that you sum it up?
Yeah, so ultimately, I think the essence for the topic today is about comparison and about how it kind of stops us from growing and from getting where we are supposed to be in life, and just like the story between the way I would call it, the rabbit and the turtle.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, rabbit and the turtle, tortoise and the hare.
Yeah, between them, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, the hare, the rabbit, was overconfident, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
What was the rabbit's name in this story?
well, let's just call him Rabbit.
Randu.
No, Rabbit is fine. Please, no. Rabbit is okay. So Rabbit has.
What about Tandu and
overconfidence.
Randu?
No.
Okay, well, tortoise,
Has,
Tandu.
yeah, and the
Rabbit?
turtle. So if I don't continue
Tandu.
on with your jokes, understand that it's not PG, and you're doing the same thing that you've done before with the whole Lota situation.
I did this Lota thing one time.
Yeah, if you guys have watched us before or heard us before on the radio,
Yeah.
Shan is ABCD as we like to say it.
I don't know what I say
And,
sometimes.
Yeah, and he
We're on
gets
public
carried away
radio.
with his
Boom, boom.
dad joke.
You see how my mic gave up on me? Just like
Mike was like, "Chup ho
It's
ja
like,
bhai."
please stop talking.
So Rabbit, okay,
Yes.
we're gonna call him Rabbit, and
Rabbit.
we're gonna call him Turtle, even though it is the hare,
Ranbir?
the tortoise.
Let's do
No.
Ranbir.
Okay.
I like names, man.
Okay, fine. Ranbir. Rabbit is Ranbir.
Okay, better than the first name.
Okay, who's
And the turtle's name is Tanvir.
Tanvir. Okay, Ranbir is Tanvir.
Got it.
This
It took a
is-
second, but we got
I
there.
love this. Okay. So Ranbir and Tanvir, both of them
Ranbir and
decided to have a race,
Yes.
and Ranbir was very confident that he's gonna win the race.
Because he's gonna run.
Yeah, he's gonna run. And Tanvir wasn't so good at running, but he was like, okay, I'll participate in the race with you.
Slow and steady wins the
So,
race.
yeah. So that's that's the moral from that story, right?
Yeah.
That the rabbit falls asleep because he's overconfident, and Tanvir then takes over because he's just he keeps going and he keeps going.
Yeah.
So now the twist to this story is, we all know the story, but the twist to this is, what if you had friends or family or society that told Tanvir that you will never be able to win that race because you cannot run as fast as the
That's what
rabbit.
society tells him.
Right. And then the rabbit, on the contrary, if you tell him
Or
that-
her, or them.
or her or them, Ranbir, since it's Ranbir, I'm
Yeah.
guessing it's a
It's actually Ranveer with a V.
Ranveer,
So let's name these people Ranveer and Tanveer.
Ranveer and Tanveer. Got it. Bhai, theek hai. So Ranveer.
Like Malik and Malik.
Huh.
Marcy and Marcy.
Why are you so crazy? But yeah, okay. So Ranveer is, probably the person who is everybody, comparing Tanveer to.
Yes.
And this happens very often in our lives.
Yes.
We compare our friends, our family members, our people in the society that we see, even actors, right? So I'm not for nepotism at all, but I do feel like star kids have pressure on them about being able to match their parents' legacy.
Right.
That.
Yeah.
So not the fact that, oh, the pressure is getting into the industry, but proving yourself in the industry is another pressure as well.
Yep.
If you don't belong in the industry, then the pressure is not as much because, okay, worst case
Are you talking about
scenario.
Ranbir?
Yeah, I'm talking about. But it's the total irony.
All right, keep going.
Yeah. So you.
Kapoor, by the
Right.
way.
So you have all of these, characters in life, and you have all of these stories in life, and I just want to get to how, comparison actually helps us in some ways, and it hurts us in some ways, and what we actually think about when we are comparing ourselves to others. कोई किसी का बड़ा घर देखता तो बोलता है कि यार मुझे बड़ा घर चाहिए, कोई बोलता है कि यार मुझे ऐसी गाड़ी चाहिए बिकॉज उसके पास ऐसी गाड़ी है. सो कंपैरिजन में कभी कभी हमको एक आइडियल और एक आइडलाइज्ड पर्सन भी मिलता है, who the person that we admire, the person that we want to become like, and in those situations it's a very flattering situation for the person that is getting admired, or whatever. But on the other hand, if that other person who's admiring, let's say Ranveer, Tanveer is admiring Ranveer, and Tanveer is like, well, I want to run as fast as Ranveer, but then he doesn't realize that he's a tortoise and he doesn't have, the capability of doing the same things. But what he can do is be consistent. So I think instead of focusing on our own qualities, we tend to get carried away between the fact that we have to do things or take the routes that some other person did, or do the things that some other person did, to be able to achieve our own euphoria, or our own nirvana, or our own, goals, or whatever you may want to call it.
Yeah.
But this happens even with people that are spiritual. I think this is a human nature.
Yeah.
Jealousy, envy, all of those things are part of human nature.
Yeah.
I think some people, channel their energies to where that doesn't become the main part of their lives, and some people cannot channel away from that, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times as well, I feel कि अपने culture में, South East Asian culture में, काफ़ी सारे parents के साथ ये बहुत, या adults के साथ ये बहुत एक situation होती थी कि अगर आप B लेके आए हो, और अगर आप A नहीं लेके
B?
आए, right?
My son got a B?
या उसके बेटे ने इतना ये ग्रेड
B
लेके
for
आया
beating.
हाँ, B for beating. ये तो शान ही है, शान ही बोलेगा अपने बच्चों को ये for sure.
A for A, okay. B for beating.
यार तुझे पता है seriously मेरी स्कूल में दोस्त होती थी. I'm not gonna name her.
And you know what C is for? Char beating.
Char beating. That's right. I'm so glad. Okay. All right.
D is for double char beating.
ये सारे letters बोल देगा आज. ये सारे letters बोल देगा. शान बड़ा distracted हुआ था.
Oh my gosh.
लेकिन शान
F for 4x char double beating.
तेरे को सारे letters बोलना तो मैं अपना topic shut down.
No, I mean, there's F, that's it. It's A, B, C, D, E, F. No E. E, excellent.
Yeah. So what do you think about it, Shan?
I think that we don't understand what it means to win. I think we understand what it means to be flashy. I think we understand what it means to show and to get attention in the short term. And a lot of times when we have a tortoise versus hare situation, we don't want to accept who we are, right? There's times where we get into a race and we think that we're a hare when we're actually a tortoise.
Right.
And then we, it's Einstein had this quote, and he said, if you tell a fish his entire life that he can't climb a tree, he's going to think he's an idiot for the rest of his life. And so people have certain strengths, and they need to learn what that strength is. Self-awareness is extremely important. We don't have a self-aware society. Nobody wants to think about who they are and what they want to do. But in the greater context of winning is, I was talking to one of my buddies about this, and we're playing a video game. I play video games. I'm 36. Anyway, so
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
Nope.
Hey guys, nothing wrong with that. Okay,
Absolutely.
you guys continue playing video games for the rest of your life,
If
and
that
maybe
brings you joy, why not?
maybe
Yeah.
you'll be as successful as me one day because I play video games. So anyway, and my buddy's really successful.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Whatever you think is success, platinum record deals. Good stuff. He's
Yes.
a really smart guy, and him and I were talking about it, and we said, when you compare yourself to other people, then you don't really have a sense of who you
Self.
are,
Yeah,
right?
sense of
And
self.
so, why do you play the game? We were playing a video game. Why do you play the game? The only reason you play the game is to win.
Right.
That's it. So maybe the objective is different, right? Sometimes, in like some of these like, games, like it's, how many scores did you have? But an individual scores doesn't mean that the team wins. It just means
Right.
that you won as an individual in the context of your team. You
Right.
need to help your team win, and then you actually win and you get the accolades and things of that
Right.
sort. And so, if you only have one sense of what winning is, which is to be the fastest or to derive the most attention, a lot of times you're not actually winning. You're just getting attention. And maybe attention is winning, right? But it's not sustainable winning.
Absolutely. So it's a very temporary fulfillment, idea of fulfillment.
Yeah.
It's not even fulfillment because I think fulfillment is, contentment. You are happy where you are with what you have, with through the resources that you have been provided. But a lot of times we are continuously looking for more resources. We are continuously looking for more, and I've done that in my life. I think I feel, maybe that I do that even now. That if I had this, maybe this would have made my life easier because I see someone else having it, and I'm like, well, their life seems to be easy. Little do I know, I'm pretty sure everybody has, challenges of their own in their own lives, and I think we all tend to do that
Yeah.
at, some point or another. It doesn't have to be something too extreme, but it is a part of our daily lives, usually. And I think admiring or becoming like someone is a different story.
Yeah.
But or having to have like achieve things that someone else has done, and you look up to them and you're like, wow, man, I want to follow that path because I
Yeah.
feel like that person has their life in control. I think more than anything else, we are seeking control in our lives.
I think people, like, this is a great point, because I think people have certain aspects of their life in
Right,
control. And so the things that you're admiring about somebody else, you can copy that, but that doesn't mean that they have all the other things,
right,
right. So you're
exactly,
saying, oh my God, this person has this one thing and they do this one thing really well. I want to learn how they
exactly,
do it. And
exactly.
I think that a lot of people need to learn how to be better copiers.
Right,
Like any successful person will tell you, don't try to recreate the wheel, just copy people that have made the wheel for you,
right,
and get great mentorship and great people around you that support your vision. But copy well, because you're going to find people that have different attributes that are really good at what they do. There's things that you're phenomenal with that I could never do. And I'm just like, dude,
and vice
teach
versa,
me.
man.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, teach me. How do you even like understand the creative process? Because you find such joy in creativity. You find such fulfillment in doing like little projects and little things that say, this is what a creative does to express themselves.
Right.
And it's so cathartic. There's so much heart and feeling that my mom says this. She goes, Ali, you know why you are so good? Say why, ma? She says, Ali, you touch the life. You touch the life.
That's so true.
And when you go through your creative process, I see that you touch the life, Nazesh. And that's what's awesome,
I love
man.
you, auntie. Really,
She's amazing, dude.
she is,
Dude, my
bro.
mom is the number one mom. All the other moms, number two. My mom, number one. No, I'm kidding. No. But yeah, my mom's pretty cool. Oh, dude,
No,
your
bro.
mom's amazing too. Your mom,
I
and your
love
mom is
auntie
such a
so much.
great
Yes.
dude. Yeah, you're Naseem Akhtar, amazing human being. She has taught you what it means to actually get within the creative range and to actually express yourself regardless of what anybody else thinks or does.
Yeah.
You put it out there, put the content out there. The people that will love it. The people that don't, who cares, right?
Right.
That's courage.
I think your mother has also, crafted you the same way, that she's encouraged you the same way, that, what, continue to touch lives, right? Continue to do it. Auntie, I'm so sorry.
Life को
But
touch कर.
yeah, but that is a very valid point, and I think, fulfillment जब हम search करते हैं, जब हम seek करते हैं, right? और जब हमें इस तरह feel हो रहा होता है, इसकी root cause क्या है? कि like the fact that you are not fulfilled where you are, right?
Yeah.
Things are never going to be perfect. Ever, ever, ever. There's always going to be one thing that's going to be missing from life. And if you have the rest of the things, like if you have just basic needs and a little bit more on top,
Yeah.
you are blessed, like
Yes.
far from. And people don't compare. I don't think people compare to make themselves feel bad or to make hasty decisions or to, twist their lives around for other people or, be under social pressures. I think it's a very individualistic pressure. It
Yeah.
is done socially,
Yeah.
We blame the society, we blame each other, we blame how, others make us feel, but ultimately this is all individual pressure that that you seek validation or you seek, a status or, or something in life that, puts you ahead of others or with others, because it's a very, I think बहुत ही different kind of feeling आती है जब आपको ऐसा inferior feel हो रहा होता है.
Right.
And I think when people do compare, I think maybe when parents do or kids with their parents as well, I've seen kids that compare their parents as well. So it's not just, parents always comparing the kids, but it's also kids also comparing the parents. And either way, you are not, doing what you need to do in the relationship, right? Or with yourself relationship, because you're not being fair to yourself if you're constantly thinking that, hey, I'm not good enough, I can't do this because look at this artist. So this used to happen to me all the time, right? In Brookhaven art
With
department.
Shazad Roy?
With art department. Art department
Do you
all the
remember Shazad
time.
Roy, though?
Yeah, I do.
He's your neighbor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but उसकी वजह से नहीं. But क्या बोलते हैं अपना, where was I?
Art department.
Art department, where I used to be all the
Fine
time.
art.
I would be doing a lot of abstract and a lot of, literature, a lot of doodling, a lot of abstract. My, my work is basically lines. I just do lines, right? And that's just my way of doing art.
That could be a gif. I just do lines.
Yeah, I just do lines all the time, but not that line that Shan is referring to.
Whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, line marring.
Line मारता हूँ.
हाँ, तो दूसरे लोग जिनको मैं देखता था ना बहुत, like maybe they would make something really realistic or a portrait or maybe do something that is like so extravagant, but they've been doing it for years, or maybe not even doing it for years, they just started doing it, but they're so freaking talented, right? So whenever I'd be right there, I'd be like, man, I suck, look at my art and look at their art. They're actually like putting their minds in, like, how do you just imagine something and like you get all the details right, all the shading right, all the colors right, all that 3D right? How do you do that? That's magic, right?
Yeah.
So and everybody, my teachers, everyone, friends, I was appreciated for my type of art. So the purpose of saying that is that I always felt like I didn't do art good enough to other people, at some point even dance, and at some point other things that I do, right? That I'm not doing it good enough because I would be intimidated by other people doing so much better at what I was doing. But what I missed was the part of consistency, right? If you do something consistently, like repairing phones, I can repair a phone in my sleep, guys. Like, I kid you
Fixtronics,
not, I will
Dallas.
know exactly where to put each and every
Crack your phone now. Go to Fixtronics. It'll look even better than it does right now.
Yeah, but the point is,
And it smells good too. Why do your phones smell good when they come out?
I spray them with cologne.
So good.
Cologne.
Low spray. I love my customer spray.
No, not at all. So it was consistency. I've been doing that for 12 years.
Yeah. That's your Tortoise race.
Yeah, I've been doing DJing for about 12 years.
Yep.
Right. Neither one of
Uber
them.
Entertainment.
No, but the point is, thank you for promoting me. I love you, Shan.
He's a phenomenal DJ, guys.
Thank
If
you.
you guys have an event, please.
I hope so.
Yes.
I hope you are meaning that. Whatever you
You
say.
are, dude.
Thank you.
We've done events together. If you need an MC, I'll MC with him.
Oh, heck yeah, bro. We got a team going.
Team boy.
There we go.
Okay,
there we
go
go.
ahead.
So, point is, both of them were not my race to begin with. I never thought as a kid that, I'm going to grow up to be a DJ or I'm going to grow up to be a technician, And both of these things did bring me fulfillment, and they do bring me joy. They do bring me fulfillment even now.
Yeah.
The only difference between my passion and these two things was that I kept going with these two things.
Got it,
right?
got it, yes.
So the Tortoise just kept going,
Yeah.
Comparison, because what Ranveer did is he compared himself to the Tortoise and felt overconfident. He was like,
Yes.
man, he cannot,
There's no
run.
way.
There's no way I can take a nap and still be, still beat him.
Right.
He's the one that compared.
Yeah.
Tortoise did not, Tanveer did not compare.
He just kept his head down.
Yeah, he
He
just
had no other choice.
yeah, and he just kept going. He just and he participated.
Yeah.
You know,
He
The
wasn't too
fact-
scared to run the race either.
Right?
He wasn't
nobody talks
intimidated.
about that.
That's really brilliant,
Right.
man. That's the
Nobody
aspect
talks
that no
about
one
that
talks about.
because why else would a tortoise be like, okay, yeah, I'm so slow, but I'm gonna win this race because the only reason that
You
he did
lose all the
that.
races you don't participate in.
Exactly. And when you start comparing yourself that,
Mm.
oh, I'm weak and the other person has more to offer, no, because you have no idea. I think people use their flaws in such a negative way.
Yeah.
Everybody's flawed, but that can be used in such a positive way,
I have
right?
I have this saying. I said, like the people that I compare myself to, 90% of them defeat themselves
Right.
before I can defeat them.
Right.
We live in such a self-defeating culture. So
Right.
anything I want to accomplish, 90% of people will get out of the way
Right.
like immediately, right? So when you have a goal and you have clarity, if you have your head down and you just keep on consistently going, who knows that tortoise could also be the fastest tortoise amongst all the tortoises as well, but
Another thing for, that same story is
yeah,
that the tortoise did not know that he was going to win.
right.
He did not
He
know
didn't have
that.
the expectation. He was doing it for the sake of doing it. I had that epiphany, right?
Yeah.
I said the people who find joy in the process,
Yes.
typically the ones who find success, find more joy in the
The process
process
than in the
than
final
in the final
result. Yep.
product, right?
Yep.
You
Absolutely.
won't, because at the end of the day, once you get the product, you're going to say, oh, that was it.
Yeah.
And if you didn't enjoy the process, you're going to hate the process the next time, right? And then you're going to get more and more demotivated. But if you
Right.
just enjoy being creative, you
Right.
just enjoy feeling like accomplished and doing X, right? And you just consistently do it, you're going to find more and more success. And success is the thing that tells you, hey, keep consistent in your process.
Yeah, I think success is a very good, क्या बोलते हैं, बोलते हैं ना,
Yeah.
end goal
Yeah.
होता है
Like a
लोगों के
meter
लिए.
stick,
Yeah, like
like,
meter
yeah,
stick,
yeah,
that
yeah.
like validates this is your point,
Hmm.
in life where you have been successful.
Right.
But truly, it stands different for everybody,
Right.
If
Everyone has different measuring sticks. Everyone has different like ways to identify what success means to them based on how they want to be seen.
Right.
Right. I think the other thing is like, the tortoise was not so I don't think he wanted to be seen,
Right.
right, in the process
Right.
of running.
Right.
Like the hare, I'm sure, was like running and doing somersaults and like, jumping,
Yeah.
being extras. That's me, right? No, I don't know.
No,
You
are you
looked at
Ranveer?
I'm Ranveer, man. I'm Ranveer in so many ways, man. But
We all are Ranveer in a lot of ways,
we
man.
we Ranveer the
all
heck
are.
out of ourselves,
Yeah, we
and,
do.
and it's fun, dude. And being Ranveer is also a lot of fun.
It is,
And
absolutely.
the thing is that you just have to be self-aware as Ranveer and saying, am I putting too much energy hopping around like a Tanveer?
Exactly. See, like
Ranveer?
this is the exact reason why maybe Ranveer was even feeling overconfident is because of the fact that he has won a lot of races. He
Yeah.
has seen himself accomplish too much. So I don't think there is a bad character in any
I think
story.
it's lack of maturity.
Lack of maturity, exactly. Lack of maturity, and also lack of understanding that it would not happen every time, and that probably that tortoise in that race really needed to win something, compared to Ranveer, who's like literally running around winning all the races. So sometimes the tortoise leads it. It took him so long to win the race. But imagine if they both sat down and before the race they were even being compared, to each other.
But can you imagine how Ranveer must have felt at the end of the race knowing that he lost to a turtle, bro? Like that fall is such a big fall. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know how do we, how people reconcile the fall is uh, it's actually kind of dangerous sometimes, right? Because you don't have that safety net. You don't have the self-esteem, the self-confidence to be able to pick yourself back up when you fall that far
Right,
deep,
right.
especially when you're jumping around the way that Ranveer was throughout that entire race,
Yeah,
right?
I think we try to get through life really fast. And I think
Right.
that is the whole taking away process because we are not enjoying the process.
Yeah.
We're doing things really, really fast. We are just working from, X amount to X amount and then partying from X amount to X amount. And then life just keeps going and, year after year after year. And like nothing is really changing, but, your timing is the same. Your things are the same. Your priorities are the same.
Well, I think we have to then recognize, are we doing things for ourselves or are we doing things because of other people?
But see, that is the thing, right? When you're constantly in this feeling of comparison,
Yeah.
right? That I need to be able to achieve this.
Yeah.
to have a fulfilled life. I need to be able to do this to have a fulfilled life. I need to be able to take these actions so that, someone doesn't think about me like that, or someone doesn't think about, us like that, or whatever it may be. And I'm speaking from like really openly and from very personal experiences, because these are things that literally everybody goes through, but
Yeah.
rarely people talk about it on an open platform. And because you're my bro, we always talk about these things regardless, on or off the air. And today's topic, I think, this is a lot to do with your own pressure to yourself, because you're constantly in that same circle,
Yeah.
right? People do not feel pressure if they do something temporary.
Yeah.
And that is where people are finding
Oh,
fulfillment.
I get it. That's brilliant. That's
You
brilliant.
know?
Yeah, because if it's a short-term thing, you could say, "Oh, I was just experimenting and it wasn't really a thing." I think this is funny because right now it's, we're just after the new
Maybe
year.
that's what the rabbit fell to.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is just after the new year. Right now, everyone's failing on their New Year's resolutions, right? And this is a perfect
Amen.
time to bring this in, because it's like, what was the goal in the first place?
अच्छा, उसके लिए भी कितना गिल्टी फील होता है अगर आपने कुछ डिसाइड किया और आपने अपने फ्रेंड्स को बताया, फैमिली को बताया, और अगर आपने नहीं किया,
Yeah.
तो उसके लिए भी आपको गिल्टी फील होता है, right?
Yeah.
Like there is no break. You
There's
are
no break.
feeling guilty regardless.
But the idea is you have to give yourself the break,
Right,
right? And you have to say, hey,
That is
listen,
the point. Yep.
that's the idea, is to have mercy toward yourself, is to have this space that you give yourself to say, whether I accomplish it or not, I'm going to enjoy the process of trying to figure out what it really means, right? So if your, goal is, everyone's goal is to lose weight, right? If your
Right.
goal is to lose weight, what did you learn? Who cares whether you lost weight or
Yeah,
not? What did you learn? Who did you become at the end of the journey? And if it's, I'm just going to eat more because I'm depressed or whatever because I didn't follow my goal.
Yeah.
Well, what does that mean about you? Where are you mentally? And then you're able to kind of have a self-check and a self-assessment to say, this is where I truly am, and this is where my self-esteem lies. These are the contributing factors toward my higher or lower self-esteem.
Yeah.
And then you become a little bit more self-aware. That's really what the process is all about. Is at the end of the race, when the hare got beaten by the tortoise, the idea is when Ranbir woke up and he said, "Oh my God, Tanvir already won." Well, the idea is what is Ranbir going to do after that? What is his self-image? What is his self-worth?
Yeah,
what does he learn?
Probably nothing. Probably he's like, man, I can't believe, that I fell asleep, or, that I
He
fell
either
asleep
is going to
so
be
long.
more self-aware, he's going to try
Exactly,
harder,
right.
or he's going to be so hard on himself
That
that
he's not going to be able to do another race again.
exactly.
Yep.
So there's also analysis paralysis,
Yep.
and so you have to say at some point I have to get some grip on reality and my own self tendencies and my own
Exactly.
subconscious.
So that is really the true essence of today's topic, is that essentially all we want is some control in our lives, which everyone has, literally everyone has, but we feel so I think distracted by other things. And I'm really not going to blame social media, because I really feel like it's bringing a lot of people together.
Yeah.
So I really feel like ultimately
Well,
it's doing
we
good.
enjoy social media,
Yeah, we
right? So we
enjoy
can't
it.
blame social media
Right.
that we
Yeah.
enjoy. It's a great product.
But a lot of times we are only blaming social media that, oh, you are posting happy stuff. So are you supposed to post, like sad stuff about yourself, even if you don't feel like sharing it with others?
Yeah.
Right? That's not going to be the thing, and maybe some people are doing it for the likes, and that's also okay. So, the thing is, we don't really necessarily see why we are trying to take control over our lives, because we might think that we have lost control over our lives. So for someone who's trying to lose weight, right, they're probably thinking, man, I'm never going to be able to do that. I became so fat, I'm never going to be able to do that, right?
Well, I think the question is, why do you want to lose weight in the first place? Do you want to
Exactly.
feel better, or do you want to look better
But
for
that's
other
gaining
people?
control of your own life,
Right.
Yeah.
Where's the loss of control here?
Right.
Right. And then let's address that part. Is it a self-image thing? Is it because you don't actually feel sick? Like, do you need where does this weight thing
A
really
lot of
go?
times it is, the remarks that other people, pass around you.
Right.
And
I
it
just
might
don't
be out
like
of
the
a
way I
joke.
look in pictures.
Exactly. I don't like the way I see myself in the mirror. I don't like the way, that people, maybe, don't, like, I don't get hit on, or like I
Right.
don't get, like, any attention,
Not a problem for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, ladies.
most
No, I'm just
definitely.
kidding.
Yeah,
No,
ladies.
but ladies, hey,
We
ladies.
have a single Lulu in the house.
No, but I think that's the challenge, right? Is like people, whenever they set these goals, right? Whatever race they want to win, they really don't know why they're racing in the first place.
Bilkul, yeah.
And then once they win, they're like, "Oh, is that it? they didn't even enjoy running the race. You know what I mean? All they did was slog through it, and then they were like, I think, and the whole time they're thinking, I think this is what other people want me to do.
Right.
They don't want to do it because they want to do it. Every race you run, understand why you're running it and win it for yourself, and understand what that feeling is going to be like when you finish it, not be surprised for after you finish it. Then
Right.
Right?
Exactly. So it is just this whole mental process that we go through, right? So we're trying to gain control over our lives, subconsciously. We start comparing ourselves to people that we think are doing much better in their lives and
Right.
have their lives in control, and then we start to beat ourselves more that, oh, everybody has 24 hours, because we're always told that everyone has 24 hours, and which is the reality. It is our priorities, it is our mindset, it is up to us individually completely. No matter how much we blame people that we live with, no matter how much we blame our parents or our conditioning or the society, ultimately all we want to have is some control over our lives. And I think that is the idea why we even compare ourselves. Otherwise, honestly, guys, nobody has a reason to compare themselves to anybody.
I
Right?
agree. I agree.
Totally.
If you win the race, you understand why you win the race, and then when you win the race, you actually feel that full level of fulfillment. You get an A. A for a good job.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you get a B
B for beating.
for a beating, and then you end up beating yourself up. You see what I'm saying? For no reason.
And then you continue to do that, and it's C for char beating.
Char beating.
You're
Char
beating
beating
yourself
because-
from everywhere.
from everywhere, because you're like, I don't know who I am. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And then you have this C for crisis. Crisis beating.
Yeah, and then you're unable to socialize. You're stuck in analysis paralysis, so you have double char beating going on for a D.
For D, man. And so that's it. And then you eventually F. Full two for
eventually.
char beating. Double time. Oh my God. So yeah, no, that's really what it is, man. Like, at the end of the day, why you do what you do is so important.
Right.
Understanding the why. Simon Sinek, he talks about this all the time. He
Yeah.
says, start with the why and then build out whatever you want to build.
Yeah.
But if you don't understand your why, you're never going to understand where you're going.
Yeah. So have you ever been in a situation where you have made decisions, and you obviously don't have to talk about it in detail. But
Oh, I
have
will.
You can most definitely go for it, but you don't have to. But have you been in a situation where you felt like you were kind of changing your life because of what you thought was not good enough for yourself?
Yeah, everything, all the time. I think a lot of that has to also do with, because I'm such an emotional person, I think a lot of that has to do with my friendships, my relationships and things of that sort, and who I try to become, and what I try to do in my friendships, in my relationships, is I try to come in and change as much as I can so that I can feel worthy of the relationship. So it's like, and one thing that I learned from you is, dude, just be yourself and people will love you for who you are. Yeah. I never understood that, right? And at a very deep level. And so what I would try to do is I would go into my friendships, my relationships, and I would say, okay, how can I add value so that I can get love back?
Yeah.
I would people please so that I can earn love. And that's not the way to do it. And so that was the race that I was constantly running, was, okay, like, I'm not gonna.
This is really brave of you to talk about it on the radio.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Just,
public people. Okay,
public
millions of people listening to this story, but I think a lot of people try to do that, right? A lot of people don't feel like they don't deserve love, or they don't deserve respect, or they don't deserve admiration, or any of that. They have to do something that's so outside, of their normal pattern, that they try to earn the love or the respect or whatever it is. And I used to see this with, like, those rich kids growing up. I wish that I could be like the cool kid, because all the cool kids, they used to get it. And so they would go out, they'd be rich, they'd be spending their parents' money and impressing their friends that don't care about them at all.
Right.
And they would have cool cars, they would buy their friends gifts, they would do all this stuff. And people would be like, cool, I'll take the gift and I'll take, like, all this stuff. And, or they would have parties at their house and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, nobody cared about them, right?
Absolutely.
And it was because they were using the resources that they had in the wrong way.
Right.
And they were just like, hey, I can offer this. Rather than saying, hey, this is who I am, who cares whether I have money or not? They would get to that point later on in their life, hopefully.
Right.
Sometimes they don't.
Right.
But I was doing the same thing, but I was doing it in an emotional way.
Right.
It's like, how can I help you?
Right.
How can I, like, give of myself to, like, serve you, so that I can get,
be of value. I can be of
so that I
value.
can have a friend.
Yeah.
Yo, man, that was the most difficult time of my life. And even I was doing it in relationships and all that stuff too. And it was just like, man, like, this is just never going to last. It's never going to last because the foundation that it was built on was a lie.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't something that was genuine.
Yeah.
It was always something that was transactional.
Yeah.
And so I think that was my race.
That must be so much pressure on you too to continue to do that.
Oh yeah.
To be able to, because
I can't do it anymore.
right.
I don't want
I
to
see
do it
that.
anymore.
I see that. Absolutely. I've met Shan in a much better place, and I'm so proud of you, man, for getting yourself out of that, because you can, and I think I have done that, and I think everyone has done that at some point, you know, or another, that we feel that sometimes we give too much of ourselves, you know, to get the basics in return,
Yeah.
right? To just get a basic in return, like just courtesy and just respect, right?
Yeah.
Just those things we try to work really hard for.
Yeah.
But I think they lie within our flaws, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So if you are, you know, flawed in a way where you are, you know, feeling less loved or not valued enough, right? That is a flaw, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not valuing yourself. If you're feeling a flaw right there, I think the answer lies within that flaw, that you are not valuing
Yourself.
yourself.
Brilliant. Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
When you twist that around, it becomes your strength.
Yes.
You start to value yourself.
Yes.
You start to see people seeing that you value yourself, so then they also value you.
Yeah, they're like,
They-
there must be something about this guy.
Exactly, they respect you because
Exactly.
they see that you are respecting yourself,
Right.
right? And a lot of times, I don't think we ever get to that.
Yeah.
I think we just walk around in every circle, in every circle of every path of every city of, you know, every country in this world or every planet,
Yeah.
but we do not come to that.
You're right.
We do not come to how our flaws make us who we are.
Absolutely.
And not, you know, we talk about this so much, and I talk about this so much. It is not about being who you are. Does not mean that you know, even the bad sides of you that can be improved. Like, let's say somebody, you know, maybe doesn't talk very respectfully, right?
Yeah.
And if you're like, well, this is how I am, you know, take it or leave it. Well, that is really not how you are, because that is a learned process. A baby is not born, you know, being बदतमीज.
Right.
बेचारा वो रो रहा होता है, या खा रहा होता है, सो रहा होता है, या हंस रहा होता है, वो कुछ बदतमीजी नहीं कर रहा होता.
Yes,
That is a
मासूम है,
learned-
मासूम.
मासूम होता है, exactly. So that is not who you are,
Yeah.
because that is not where you started from. This is a learned behavior that, you know, you use in a defense. And even comparing yourself, and now if you are comparing yourself, compare yourself to how you were when you were born.
Right.
I don't think we do that enough, man. I think we always compare ourselves to our future,
Yes.
never to our past. You know, rarely do we see our own accomplishments of how long did it take us to become who we did,
Yeah.
you know, landed where we are.
Yeah.
If we're doing good in life, even if we're doing bad in life, we don't look at the past struggles and we're like, man, I have been through that as well.
Well, I think we lack gratitude. I think that's the basis of that. You know, the other part of that, when I look at that child, you know, a lot of our trauma comes from our childhood self.
Yeah.
And the reason why we respond in certain ways, the reason why we react in certain ways, the reason why we don't take things in stride is because we react from a childhood self.
yeah.
We're trying to protect our child, whoever that is. Like, you know, we're all just like kids in
are,
adult
exactly.
suits.
Yep.
And so when we take that second and we say, okay, why do I feel this way? It's because that child inside of me feels threatened,
Yeah.
or feels hurt, or feels offended, or feels like crying, or feels sensitive, or feels rejected. Where is that? And how do I mend that child? How do I take care of that child? How do I
you
hold
even
that child?
find it? So let's really, like, you know, change it up a bit
Yeah.
and figure out what is the solution. How do you even find that there is a problem? How do you even find what to do about that problem? How do you even reflect on the inside to
Yeah.
find where the problem
Well,
lies?
it starts with reflection, right?
Right.
So the thing is that something comes in to your space. A situation happens and you react to that.
Right.
And you don't know why you reacted to it, right? So it's you're either going to react in sadness,
Yeah.
in anger, you're going to react to it in anxiety, there's going to be some level of reaction. That reaction, if you can hit the pause button right there, right when you react, then you say, why did I do that? That's not a natural reaction. A natural reaction is understanding, absorbing it, not reacting to it, but taking it in stride and understanding why, you know, what just happened, and being curious about what just happened.
Right.
Trying to take a more understanding approach. 99% of the time that doesn't happen. We react to it. Hey man, why are you undermining me? Okay, so that's the issue. The issue is, you know, I felt undermined. Why did I feel undermined? Well, as a child, and that's how you start it. You say as a child, and then you make that story.
I think this is so brilliant, Shan,
Yeah.
the way you broke it down, because it all starts with I felt.
Yes.
Or I feel.
Yes.
Right? So currently, if you feel a certain way, why do you have those feelings?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the answer might not come to you right away, because I think it's a lifelong process to try to like even learn about yourself. I don't even think we know ourselves
It's a
100%.
tortoise.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's a
You're
lifelong
Tanvir.
process. You are Tanvir for the rest of your life.
Tanvir learning about your life for the rest of your life. Enjoy every step. Stop trying to run through your life like Ranveer.
Yeah, don't run.
Don't Ranveer. Tanvir. Be in your Tanvir. I wonder if we have any comments on Facebook.
Oh my God, let's see
And
what we
then I have a
got.
question for you
Oh,
after.
Irfan, yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead. Hi, what's up, bhai? I know
Yeah.
Irfan's always tuned in.
Yes, Irfan's awesome, man.
Yes,
He's the
okay.
foundation of our PVT. we need some Tanya in here.
We're gonna be sharing it, so I think we'll be
Yeah,
all
he'll
right.
be good. He'll be
Yeah.
good. My question is, Nazesh, has there ever been a point or a time in your life where you had like a race and you wanted to win that race, and maybe where you were the tortoise or the hare? Has there ever been a situation?
So so many times. But you know what I have been? I've been the tortoise who falls asleep. He's like, I'll make it
The
the
worst of
second.
both.
I'll make it the second, no problem. Tu ja jeet le. I think that is my
Bro,
problem.
I'm tired,
I'm
man.
not. I'm not. Like I love competitions. I love the process. I love the journey.
Yeah.
I don't care that much about the end results. Like, me winning something has never been my primary reason to participate in
Right.
a race,
Yeah.
For me to even be amongst other talented people,
Yes.
I think that is for me winning the race.
Yes.
That you are participating with, so many amazing people, that is winning the race.
Yeah.
You're learning something from them. Maybe you're teaching them something, but you're definitely learning something from them. And I think that in itself is winning the race. Whatever the experience may be, bad or good, but I do take, my sleep, snooze, you know. And you're like, offline, see you later, bro.
Yeah.
And not literally, because everyone that knows me knows that I don't sleep that much.
Yes.
But when it comes to working hard, sometimes what I would say to that in particular is that sometimes I don't have clarity.
Yes.
And when a tortoise does not have clarity,
Yes.
and just like Ranveer, when he did not have clarity as to why he wants to win the race,
He takes a nap.
he takes a nap,
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of people do that. We just sleep through our problems, or we just eat through our problems, or we just guilt through our problems. And, usually they're not even problems.
Mhm.
Usually it is in our own heads. So, when I was in therapy a long time ago, my counselor even told me, how do you know that that person is thinking that about you? Because I would be, like, I know that that person is gonna say that to
Right,
me, or
right.
respond with
It's
this,
fear.
or yeah, and no, it's not even fear. But she was like, why do you think that? And I was like, because I know them. Like, but you don't know that they're gonna respond like this every time, right? Or if you do, then you are just ignoring a red flag. But if you don't, then why do you feel that in your head the scenario is gonna play out exactly the way you're imagining it? Because then you're kind of helping it,
Right.
because you're already agitated, you're
Right.
already anxious, you're
Yeah.
already about to, become angry, or you're already about to, because you're kind of like, oh, anything that happens, you're ready for that. Oh, I knew this was gonna happen. I knew about it, right?
Right.
So
You're proving yourself
you're
right.
proving yourself right, and not only that, but you're also thinking, okay, your own thoughts are shaping up your life.
Yeah.
You're not thinking that,
Yeah.
because it could be, if you practiced enough, and I still practice it to the daily. If you practice enough of just being, I think, kind of like a benefit of the doubt kind of a person, that hey, the other person might be going through this or that or whatever,
Yeah.
but you protect yourself at the same time, which takes real skill, guys. I'm still learning how to do that in life, and be good about it with myself and to the people around me as well. And same thing I think goes for the tortoise. I don't think he thought that he can win the race, but he's like, at the same
I want to
time,
go back and read it because I
Yeah.
wonder if you actually felt.
yeah,
like
we're actually, once we take this break, we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna read you guys the short story real quick, and just like skip through the main parts.
Yeah, yeah,
and just
yeah.
like read that real quick, so we can just elaborate on that a bit. We're definitely due for a break. We went on for 45 minutes straight without any breaks, and hope you guys are enjoying the episode so far with myself, DJ NZ, Nazesh Ali, and my boy Shan Ali Moledina, here from Radio Azad 104.9 FM HD3.
Give us a call at the studio if you have any contributing thoughts, ideas. 972-501-9390. We'll be back right after these quick messages.
This is your radio.
You are listening to Radio Azad, KZMP Pilot Point, 104.9 FM HD3.